How's it going, everyone? It's nice to see you all again, as usual. Okay, so I just want to see where we're at right now. I'm kind of tall right now, aren't I? Okay, so let's look at today what's going on in cryptocurrency. Obviously, we want to do a little bit of the news, and obviously we're going to get to the charting second. So if you're here for the charting, just stay here and don't go anywhere. That'll be great for you to stick around. We'd love to see you stay. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share this video with other people. There's lots of good information, and I do generally like to share that with you guys. So that's what we're all about. Now today you're wondering, why am I here? What am I going to get out of this video? Well, we're going to get out of this video what's going to happen over the weekend. My predictions have been decently very on point. Unfortunately, I was at a conference in Bangkok the last couple days, and I didn't get to get my video out to tell you what would happen after the Bitfinex going down and coming back online, but that's okay. So here's what I'm going to be delivering to you guys today: some good analysis, some fundamental analysis, as well as if you guys have questions, I will answer them happily for you. So jump on in, do say hello if you're on Facebook or YouTube. If you haven't got on my YouTube channel, you should go do that. It is Athena Project. So definitely jump in on that if you have not done that before. So let's get into what's going on in crypto today. It's nice to see some familiar faces here today. Mayor, Shbeto, Andre, Brian, how's it going for all you guys? I hope you're doing really well today. Now let's look over what's happening in cryptocurrencies. Well, Binance, weirdly enough, is looking at becoming a node for Facebook's Libra. Oh, Anthony De Palma, nice to see you from Australia. Where is everyone from today? You guys jump in and say where you're at. JJ, great seeing you, man. I hope Canada's treating you well. It's probably warmer than it was a few months ago. All right. So last week, Facebook launched this whole idea. Nikolai, great to see you here too. Last week, Facebook launched their idea of the website for Libra coin. Obviously, we know that they have nodes. 23 of the 100 are already confirmed. And basically, you have to be a huge, massive organization that has $10 million or so to even be considered. And you pretty much have to be a you have to have like $1 billion organization almost to even be considered. Oh, thanks, JJ. It was a good birthday for sure. I spoke at a conference and talked about how crypto's a future with FX guys that are traditional market guys, and they were saying how it's a scam, how crypto is a scam, and then how markets are manipulated. And I busted out like a doorstopper, and I was like, "Really, crypto's a scam?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh, really? Well, what happened with the Deutsche Bank when they had market manipulation and forex of $235 million?" And that kind of made the crowd go like, it was really good. Treto, great that you're having South Africa. Trevor, I know you're in Australia as well. Cool stuff here. So don't leave, guys. If you're watching, I'm going to do crypto analysis on TradingView as well near the end of the video. So if you're here, you get here, we're going to go over this. So now something really interesting is Binance going and being this whole DEX and all the things that they're trying to do, and then, kind of coming out and being a Libra node is kind of interesting, but not huge news. It's just interesting, and I thought I would point that out. Now, what it is pretty interesting news is that Weiss crypto ratings have called two different cryptocurrencies undervalued. One of them you may know, one of them you may not. Lition is one that was going to go on BitMax for their IEO, and then decided not to because they didn't want to spend the money on doing that. So they kind of had these growing pains in the industry at the same time. But basically, they are making something similar to what you would see with UND, if you know I followed, kind of like a private and permission blockchain at the same time, but they have some differences as well. And we'll be able to do offering of security tokens. And basically, they have the permission side and the public side. So it's quite interesting as well. Oh, another one from Australia. I guess it's an Australian day. Good day, mate. Sorry, that was really horrible. So what they're going to do is they modified their token lockup. They've gone through the growing pains, and basically they're letting less in circulation. And Lition seems like it's a undervalued token right now. A lot of people were really bullish on this one, which is quite interesting, and now it's not. Good morning, Joe. Any latest news on XRP, Bitcoin? I can't breathe. Oh yes, XRP is I'm gonna make a price prediction for that today, and I'll make price prediction for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's quite interesting what happened in the market yesterday and today. Even kind of caught me by surprise. I was kind of sitting out the market going, let's see what happens, and then we crossed our key June on the 4 hour, and I'll show you this in a second. So just hold up, guys, don't go anywhere, and I'll give you all that you need. So Fantom's another one, which is a DAG. These things have directed acrylic graph. They're different. There's other ones that do similar things, like IOTA, for example, and Hedera hash graph. They didn't raise as much money, but I do know Michael, the CEO, and they are pretty on the ball with it. But it's DAGs are still, they need to be proven, but it could be something that's it's going on. What's up with Zuckerberg crypto? Okay, so Zuckbucks, that's a good one. That's a good question, Michael. Zuckbucks, what ended up happening with that, which is quite interesting, is someone created a cryptocurrency called Zuckbucks. And you're probably going like, well, what does that even mean? Well, what it means is someone took the whole idea of the Libra coin and knew that I could scam you basically and made Zuckbucks. It even says on the website for Zuckbucks that, I'm going to use this money for my own good, etc. It's quite funny, but also not funny because it happens. Yeah, did you miss the stream? No, you didn't, Jim. You're here on time. I'm just going over some news, and then we're going to jump into the technical analysis side. All right, this is another one. Yes, on Twitter, I posted like a couple months back how many exchanges would get up hacked in 2019. I think we're at like 5 now or something like that. And Bitrue is the next one. So they lost $5 million of XRP and Cardano, which is obviously is not good for those cryptocurrencies. XRP might be able to do something. Cardano, I don't think so. And this is stuff that's just going to keep happening with centralized exchanges. They're going to get hacked. And this is why DEXs are great, because if you use the Binance DEX, for example, your phone, this thing right here, is actually your wallet if you're using Trust Wallet on Binance DEX. So it's quite cool. Damn, you joined Bitrue. Damn it, Trev. I know there was like the Cryptopia one and we Bitrue. Hopefully you guys did not get hacked. And when you guys are looking for an exchange, this is something really important to know. When you're looking for an exchange of which ones you should sign up to, for example, make sure that you look for ones that have insurance. I had this conversation on stage at the conference 2 days ago on my birthday, and I said, hey, like they said, well, what about all the scams? Well, you lose your keys. I said, well, yeah, we do have proof of keys. And you can, take it off the exchange. And there's also exchanges like Binance and Coinbase that actually have insurance. So you can not, if they do get hacked, at least you're okay. And BitMEX as well with their 22,000 Bitcoin fund. That's pretty insane, but it is what it is. So yeah, unfortunately, Trev, you got there burned, but hopefully you didn't get burned on this one. I'm really, I hate when these exchanges get hacked, and the whole Quadrica and all that stuff is just awful. Now, this is a really interesting one I found, that Coinbase is being blamed for the recent dump because they went offline for a little while. And while they were offline, the market just started to super dip. And it's really interesting that because the order books are a little insane. On Coinbase, a $27 million market sell could crash Bitcoin to 10K from 12.5K. So the market still does not have that type of liquidity that we all thought it did, and most of it probably is in the OTC market. So if you do market sell a huge amount of crypto, someone can technically still manipulate the market. Okay, now you're over the now this one, fine. Bitrue will cover any costs. Okay, well that's good. At least Bitrue has insurance and will cover. Okay, so let me just read this question real quick. Also, in the little time that I've been following crypto, I've noticed right before Christmas, all crypto takes a dip from people cashing in crypto to buy Xmas presents. So if you can get a good time to buy, and then once they get their tax returns in the US, it seems like the price of crypto goes up in April. So potentially a good time to sell off. What is your thoughts on my amateur insight? Well, Michael, what this means is this. That doesn't really matter. People will always sell off profits, and they will always buy when they have extra money to invest. So yes, April generally does have an uptick, not probably just because of taxes, but there's been a lot of other things, the trade war, the potential war with Iran. There's other factors that cause people to put money into cryptocurrencies that a lot of countries don't trust their government, like in China. So there's several reasons why someone would use a cryptocurrency instead. So that's something always to keep in mind. And you know, this is really important. Now, if you guys are watching right now, just because I'm about to get into the technical analysis side, do click on that share button and share to one of your favorite groups, or share to your family and friends to do me a favor. Okay. Now, every Monday and Friday, I will be on here doing this exact same thing every single week. So it's been 2 weeks now. I'm going to continue doing this. So if you guys want to kind of jot in your calendar around this time every single week, 5 to 6 o'clock, I will come on and do a live feed. So keep that kind of noted. And every Monday morning, I'll kind of recap. For me, Monday morning might be your Monday night. So Coinbase is not really to blame because they weren't online, so it's kind of silly, but it is what it is. And the last little piece of news is that Justin's son is getting ready for lunch, of which that he's going to first talk about cryptocurrency in a very simple way and try to convince Warren Buffett, who hates crypto and thinks it's rat poison. And then he's going to eat good food and also talk about how Tron is so awesome. And yeah, that's basically what's going on in the news today. Let's jump into the charts. So, a couple things to look at when we're looking at charts. Remember, first piece of advice for you all, which is not financial advice, it's just advice when you're actually looking at a chart, is this. When you see the chart, like you see here, what should you do? You should first start on a daily trend, on a daily, okay? And it gives you a really good perspective of what happened yesterday, and we look at the close of the candle. So we have an open and close of a candle, right? This candle opened because it's red at the top and closed at the bottom. This one opened at the bottom and closed at the top because it's green. Okay, now when we're looking at these, we have to think of a couple things. Now I taught you guys yesterday that we have the key, last week, sorry, on Monday, that we have the Kijin. Okay, so let me just show you what that is and remind you what it is again. So the Kijin is right here. Okay, that is, use A as a stop loss, or B, it's known as the line of equilibrium, where the market wants to try to get back to at any time it can. And then when we have pullbacks, it does. But we're in a very bullish market right now. And when we're in a bullish market, what that means is that Tenkan can also become a Tenkan bounce. So what we saw here is exactly that. We zoom in, we can see that on the Tenkan, we touched it. It went below, it closed right on the Tenkan. The next one also touched and flirted with it, but then it started to move up. And then we're looking at Ethereum. We'll get on Bitcoin next, but we do have our Kijun and our Tenkan, and then we also have the cloud, but the cloud's quite far away on a longer time frame. When we go in closer, you'll still see the same lines. Now here, our cloud actually on the 4-hour acted as our support. Right? So we have support and resistance. And here, as you guys can see right now, the Tenkan is acting as the resistance. So it flips back and forth depending on time frame, but the longer the time frame, the larger the amount of time, the higher the accuracy will be. So if we go even closer to like 1 hour, you'll see it will also change again. So right here, we have more sellers than buyers, which is where the sell signal came, because we had this thing called a TK cross. So what is a TK cross? Well, basically, TK crosses down, the Tenkan goes underneath the Kijun when we have more sellers than buyers. So on the shorter time frame, we had that. We also have what we call a dark future. So it looks like it will come back down more in the future at this point. We also see, though, another thing. This is the Chiku span, which is looking back 30 periods before. Okay, so 30 periods ago, the Chiku span was here. Right now, we're trading above it, which is a bullish sign. But because we're under the cloud, we're in a neutral, we're not really in a strong territory to actually trade this right now on the 1 hour. But if we go on the 4 hour, it looks a lot better. And if we go on the daily, the long-term aspect, we can see that it actually looks fine. We had this nice Tenkan bounce on Ethereum. Where do we see Ethereum going next? What we have to do is draw a Fibonacci retracement here. So let's, Fibonacci extension here. Let's click on here. We'll click on our swing low. Where's our real swing low? Call that one. And our swing. Okay, so let's look at where we're going here. So where could Ethereum get back to? Well, it almost did this 50% retrace right here from where I'm drawing this. So we basically almost touched this. We did touch the 50% retrace on this long candle down. And now it seems like we're coming back up. So over the weekend, we could try to see a push back up into that $365 range. I can't believe it got that high, but it did. And it was my birthday and I wasn't even paying attention. So that's what happens. You know, it's like happy birthday. Everyone's like wishing you happy birthday. And then you're like, oh, the market though, the market. Oh, the market. But it's all good. Hey, Raymond, nice to see you in there over in Florida. Sweet. TRX is down, I think, around to 279 sats due to a jump maybe to 400 to 600 sats. I don't think so. Not right now. Not with Bitcoin running like a crazy man. But I will definitely do TA. What program am I using? This is called TradingView, guys. You can get it at tradingview.com. It's a great charting software, but you can customize your charts and you can use tons of different indicators. I will be making, and I actually am in the process of making a educational course for how to use TradingView and how to actually trade. So that will be coming out in the future. Right now, what we do have is our trading group and our trading system, the Athena trading system. So you guys can jump in on that, go to athenaproject.trade, join up and be a part of what we're doing because it's really fun. You get to have a community of 100 people and we're really there to kind of help other people get better at trading and obviously over time get to the point of financial freedom. That's what our goal is, right? Now, moving on, where could Ethereum go? Well, really, if we do have a weekend like last weekend, it could go very high. But I'm not really expecting it to get there. I think we could definitely get to the 786 and come back down, something along this lines of here. And then potentially, if we have the balls, get back to this range. It's really hard to say that though. The greed in the market is very high, so it's really hard. Thank you very much, Olivera. It was a birthday like on the 26th of June, and man, was it a happy birthday. It was like everyone was like, man, what did you do? I was like, I didn't do anything. I was just at a conference talking to people about crypto. It was great. And so our next move could potentially also go up towards 400. And if we go to the let's look at this 3-day chart here. You can see why I'm saying that. So we have what we call an edge-to-edge trade where it goes from inside the cloud to outside. And this is pretty much the edge right here where we might get to. And this is a 3-day chart, so it could take longer than that. But if we really did a full edge to edge, it could go to 455. But I'm expecting more on this 405 range here would be where we'd be going on Ethereum. All right, so let's go into Bitcoin. This is what you're all here for, I'm sure. Let's look at where is Bitcoin USD going. All right, so on a longer term outlook, we never look on short term because it freaks you out. What happened is exactly what happened to Bitcoin and Ethereum. The same exact thing. We had the Tenkan bounce. What that means is this line where there's buyers and there's line where there are sellers, there was still more buyers and sellers on the longer term outlook. And we made a higher low, right? So nothing really to worry about. And now we're still making higher lows on the daily, right? So we're good. We bounced off this $10,700, $10,600 range. We went a little lower than that before. And basically it was started on our way up. And on the weekends, as you guys know from Arthur Hayes last week, what I showed you, they generally do pump. And so let's just have a quick look at this one right here and see where we're going. So it's not really a true swing though. Let me get down to the real one. There, bam. Okay, so let's see, where could we get to next? So our outlook is, you know, we did definitely get into that $13,000, almost $14,000 range. I don't foresee us getting up there, but I always say this when I do these videos, and then we do. We could come in here. Here's a couple scenarios that we could have. We could come up, touch this $12,800, $386. We could start correcting towards the 0.5 retracement, but we already had that 0.5 retracement, so keep that in mind. But a lot of people are talking about this level right here, the 382, and that's because it's a Tenkan. This is where the market tries to pull back to. So the Tenkan is like a 50% natural retrace, and what it does is the market always tries to push back down. You call your dog to join? Icon, it's cool, man. You know, it takes time to build these things up, and apparently YouTube doesn't like online live feeds as much as they used to, so it is what it is. But we have this Tenkan bounce, the Kijun that it could come back to, but it may not. But if it does, it would try to come back there. Now, where would we go on the other side? We could move up in the weekend back to this high, come back down and hit this 786 and shoot up to that 15K range. That would be a stretch, especially with Bitcoin. So if you know, it seems like Bitcoin's definitely at that point where it needs a correction. But one thing you got to learn about crypto and Bitcoin, it doesn't care. It doesn't give a crap about your feelings. It doesn't care. It will do what it does. Right? So let's start taking on some requests from you guys. Let's look at TRX. Oh my god, it looks horrible. I wouldn't want to look at TRX right now. Oh, and one other thing I want to show you Bitcoin before we stop. I'm going to go on the 4 hour and also show you another outlook. So on the 4 hour, it definitely did not look that great, did it? So we broke through there, but this is why Fibonacci is great, because you can have both pieces of mind. That you have the 50% retrace here, or we can bounce off that and come up, tweezer bottom, looked really good. So TRX, then I'll do some ZIL for sure. TRX BTC, let's look at it. On the 4 hour, it does, I mean, it's just been on this super downtrend since that 470 range. Ouch. What do I see in it? Not much, to be completely honest. It's got a very bearish looking future at this point. Let's look on a shorter time frame to see if there's any confluence, or anything that makes it me think any different. Here's something interesting on the weekly. What do you guys see? I see something very, very, very obvious. 1, 2, 3, 4, a quadruple bottom, 5 almost right here. I mean, it looks really at the bottom out stage, but I would not say that that is something you trade on at this point. I would not touch TRX. It looks very bad. Double bottom right here, 1, 2. It doesn't have a bright future. There's a lot of resistance here on the 1 hour even. I would not go near TRX at this point, to be completely honest. It does not look very good at all. Okay, so away. Stay away. Shit coins are not going to do well until they start to do well. I'll give you a VRATA. I don't think I can do it, but I'll do Matic, and I will do BTT and ADA. Zilqua, again, here's what you got to understand, guys. Bitcoin will control the whole market. If you see that Bitcoin is plus 5%, expect that all your other coins go minus 5%. Pretty much. Some of the few will make it, but not really. Yes, BTC chills out and takes profit. BTC will move. Here's the thing. Another thing that you have to also take in consideration here is really important, that some of these coins will not recover. Some of the coins are going to die. New projects might do well, but some of the coins that we have are not going to last. They are going to die. Okay, our total market cap yesterday hit 306 billion. We are up $15 billion today, and that's why Bitcoin and Ethereum, everything looks really shiny and bright. So we see that Zilqua is at its all-time low. It looks just horrible, like it's not going anywhere, anytime, anything, it just looks absolutely horrible. I mean, you could call that a double bottom if you want to, but a huge bearish cloud above it. You got the Kijun sticking down. I would not touch that right now at all. Let's try Matic. Matic's been on a recovery, which is nice. It hit this tweezer bottom right here, and it started to recover. It's starting to come back. We'll see if we have a reach a 50% retrace here, and that's why. Not even we got to the 382 and it started to pop back up, so that's okay. Matic does have a bearish future as well, but it's trading above the Tenkan and the Kijun flat, so we'll have to see where it goes on the weekend. Let's look on a longer term outlook here. It doesn't really look that bad, honestly. It's not trading in a horrible zone, and Matic has some pretty positive news of their mainnets coming out, so that's going to be announced tonight. So their alpha mainnet will be coming out, and that should definitely see some recovery in the price for sure. But remember, against US dollar, Matic is not losing a ton of profit. It's you're losing profit against your Bitcoin holdings. And if you're trying to increase your Bitcoin holdings, which what you should be doing, you're a lot of the time better off not trading in these types of markets, because you can lose BTC, you lose more profit than just leaving it alone. So that's something. XRP's coming, Ricardo, I promise. So what is my biggest altcoin hold not for trading? I hold right now Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, ADA. What else do I hold? ADA, Matic. I hold. That's pretty much it. I think I have a couple others. UND obviously, and some VRA because I was advising them, and I'm that type of advisor that doesn't just dump my own coins on other people. So it does have a really bright future with being on Binance Dex. ADA is also another one which is extremely shocking, but remember this, they did get hacked, right? They didn't get directly hacked, but someone hacked their coins. But look what we have here, a nice double bottom forming. It could have a nice recovery here, but like if you're just looking at this with a charting view without any emotion, it doesn't look good at all. It looks absolutely horrible. I mean, it's down since its top, which was in April. It is down a good 50-60%. Most coins are not down 60% since April, but there are definitely some that are even worse off. So what would have been a great time to do in the start of April is just put everything in Bitcoin and leave it and stay. People that didn't do that, it's been hard for a lot of us, even myself. I wish I had done more, but that's kind of part of trading. And when altcoin season comes back, your Bitcoin holdings will increase again. So it's kind of a swap. You just have to make sure you get the right ones. So 88 doesn't really look good on the daily and the 4 hour. Let's see how she looks on the 4 hour. Still a lot of bearishness. I mean, it's still angling down. We still have not a very bright future. It's trading below the Chiku span. So the Chiku is 30 periods behind right here. So this is the Chiku span, and it's trading below it 30 periods ago. So yeah, it's really super bearish ADA right now, unfortunately. And I think you're gonna see this on most of the coins, honestly. So Dino, don't worry, man. You actually can watch this later, so it's okay. But you can ask if you have questions right now. So let's look at ADA's price prediction here, and see what we're looking at. Like right now, honestly, at this point, it's almost better to throw some of your holdings onto BitMEX and just like trade on BitMEX and short some altcoins and trade on them. So what do I think of HOT? Would it be one to die, but it seems to hang in there? I like those low level alts because it doesn't take much to triple your money. Yeah, I mean, like MPXS is like that, Pundy. And which month do I expect altcoin to begin? I mean, CZ just said that altcoin is going to start, altcoin season is going to start, but it will start when Bitcoin stops going up so much. That's pretty much what the guarantee would be, is if Bitcoin stops increasing over and over and over again, you'll see that the altcoins will start to recover. And not all of them, seriously, ones that have no real use case will not recover. And when I say that, I mean it. They won't recover. You're gonna see a lot of old projects that don't have real good use cases very likely start to have these very swallowed feelings where they're kind of looking like they're gonna die. So be careful. And remember what I told you about XRP. October, November. I said this for many months, and I'm not saying this to tell you so. I'm saying this because this is why I'm not shocked with it doing what it's doing right now. Okay? It's on a super downtrend. It does look like it's hit a bottom here, but let's look at this on a really long-term macro aspect. It's only been lower than this before its pump in December of 2017-18. And here's something also to take in consideration. If we look at the US dollar amount, it's actually up. So Bitcoin is just taking control of the industry right now. So on US dollar side, like, yeah, XRP looks good. It's got a bright future. You know, it touched the Tenkin and now it's starting to move back. I'll zoom in so you can see that a little clearer. So we're trying to increase BTC. Now, if you're trading on USDT pairs, this is a good trade right now. It's bounced off the Tenkin. If it closes on this candle, on this daily candle, that'd be great. Let's look on a shorter term. Again, this is under the cloud, which is kind of odd, but it does have a bright future, so it's not as nice to trade on it right now, to be honest. And it had a TK cross to the negative side, but it's starting to do a little recovery here. And I mean, that's just because the whole market dropped very harshly, honestly. And over here, you see the Chiku span, it's trading above it. So this is good. XRP on a USDT level is fine. And I think that if you look at a lot of our USDT pairs, they'll all be looking fine. And you can see that. BNB is one to look out for. And I'm going to tell you why. It's been really kind of sporadic. I don't know if you see how many freaking wicks it's got here. And it's really interesting because just the other day, this was hitting $37, $40. It was sitting in that range even on the 27th of June. And if we go and on the 26th of June, so even though even though it was kind of like dropping on the 27th, it pumped at 3 o'clock in the morning, my time. Now, if we look on a longer outlook, it's just been on an uptrend forever since it hit $4 in December of 2018. So if you bought this a long time ago, look at that beautiful rally. I don't believe this is stopping anytime soon either, guys. What we're probably going to see, here's what's going to happen, and I'm telling you this now so you guys can prepare for it. BNB on July 2nd, a day after they do their Elrond IEO, CZ is running the Asia Blockchain Summit, the World Asia Blockchain Summit in Taipei. CZ's the main speaker at this event, number one. Number two, he is probably going to tell you, and I'm just saying probably going to tell you, that the Asia Blockchain Week, when he goes up and does his keynote, that Binance is going to start margin trading. Yes, you heard it here first. Binance is very, very likely going to start margin trading, and that will bring it to name K, to the moon, okay? I'll probably bring it up into this range over here in the $50 range, and I think by the end of the year we could see even 100, very close to that. I think it's just going to keep bouncing and it keeps going up because CZ is a genius. Now, we look at the Chiku span, it's underneath it right now, so it doesn't look like a good start to a trade, but if it starts to pump, I would take that trade once it's above the Chiku span because everything else looks pretty good. And here's another thing, another example of why this cloud is so amazing and why the keychain is so amazing. Here's a keychain. Look what happened. It bounced off of it, bounced off it, it bounced off it, it bounced off it, and came back up. It keeps coming back up. Here it did it again, bounced off it. Here it went below it, and there's the next level on the cloud. So remember, I told you there are several points of support and resistance. So right here, this is actually a resistance, but here was support, first level, because we're trading underneath the Tenkan. And then here's your second level support on the cloud, and here's your third level support right there. So if we had broken all three of those, then you'd stop out of that trade. But as you can see, the Tenkan is always the strongest one. It's equilibrium, and it usually bounces off that either to the upside or to the downside, and we have not seen it to the downside really at all, only just this one time right here a while back, and then it kind of just recovered and got back and closed above it and kept going on its merry way. So BNB, really one of those ones you got to keep in your eyes. I think BNB is, I didn't say I had it in my holdings, but I have a huge holding in BNB out of my portfolio because I think it will outperform Bitcoin this year. I think that this will double up, ripple up maybe potentially by the end of the year, and BTC might do similar, but it's a great project to hold and it's very stable, and that's what I like about it. NEO has also had a really nice run lately, as you guys probably have noticed. It's it did an edge to edge here trade right there when it was saying, and so here's how you set up an edge to edge trade. Go with that quickly. So if you have a buy and it's underneath the cloud and you have a bearish future, you're probably not going to go into that. But a good trade is when we close in the cloud. Right there, when we close in the cloud, that was a good time to get in a trade. And when you close in the cloud, you look for something called an edge to edge trade. So you're trying to go from one edge to the cloud to the other. It has to be green, or sorry, it can't be a green cloud. It has to be, you're going from the bottom up into the cloud, and then you're going to go edge to edge in the bearish cloud. Okay, so this is purple. It could be red, doesn't matter. But that's an edge to edge trade. So usually you see it come out of there, and then it came back down, and it got a little bearish. And it hit down over here in May, and then this is not an edge to edge because it's not a bearish cloud. And then NEO kind of started to move on its way up, and it's been moving on its way up for a while. It's up 114% in the last 49 days. It's doing extremely well. So I'm gonna leave you guys at that. If there's any other questions and concerns, you know you can see me after the weekend. But two things to remember: BTC is king corn. Don't mess with her. She touched the Tenkan. She bounced off. She very well could go into that $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 range. Ethereum, same thing. A couple predictions here. We might go down into this range at 292, even 275, but very likely because it's the weekend, we go towards that 365 range, and potentially could get up to 405, but probably not this weekend. I'm really not that bullish. I'm still bullish, but not that bullish, but we'll see. You never know. And if it does hit this range, it could double top and come back down from there too. So just keep all those pieces of information together, and that's all we need to do. So is metrics in your charts as well? Curious what you see. I don't think it's even on MRX. No, it's not even on TradingView. So I can't tell you, Dino, but maybe some other time we can look at it. That's basically all that I have to say for today. It's been a nice time. I'll see you guys on Monday around the same time, 5:30 my time. Right now it's 6:05 if you want to keep that in mind. And I will see you then. Have yourselves a great weekend. Remember not to freak out if the markets drop or move. Make a plan and stick to it. My plan is I'm in right now Bitcoin, and I'm in Ethereum, and I'm letting my other trades like Matic, my long-term holds like Matic, ADA, BNB, I'm letting them just hold. And you know, what goes up, what goes down, I trust my my long-term holds, and I trust my charting analysis. So don't question yourself, just go with what you see and you'll do fine. So I will have a course, guys, out for all of you. That's coming up. I'm creating it right now so that you can all learn how to trade on the Ichimokus and know what I'm seeing and see the same things. And then hopefully you guys can join me at athenaproject.trade. Athenaproject.trade, you can find us over there. I will also post it in over here. And if you guys are on YouTube, there is an actual link to give you 25% off your first month, so you could actually give it a shot. So join us, guys. I'll see all you later. Coach K signing out. Have yourselves a great weekend. Bye-bye now.